Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again. It is Wednesday, October the 29th, 2025. Oh, thank you for joining me. Let me get this bad boy going with a sip of the old coffee. Hold on a sec. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Toronto, Mi Familia, Wagwan to Mi Familia, here in Canada, the Blue Jays, shout out to the Blue Jays, over there, further down south, United States of America is over there, further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Jamaica, Sudan, what's going on in Sudan? Jesus Christ, all around the world, Jamaica. Good to be alive. Let me just get a... Daddy's running on fumes. Daddy is running on adrenaline from last night's show. Thank you. Went out there, did five. Just trying to catch my breath for a second. Did not. Day of. Yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's just get right again. If you've been with me from the get-go, thank you for being a part of my life and letting me be a part of yours. Thank you. It's been a little bit of a journey, and it's one that continues. It's the little podcast that could and will and should and is. It's our lives. Yeah, Daddy had a show last night. Got an email, last minute email. Came in Monday, putting you on the Tuesday. And thank God I read that email for a second or third time, because the first glance, typically it's like a week or in 2 weeks, but this one was just a day in advance, and yeah, so I only had one day. It was nice. Just gotta fucking tighten up, get ready. I guess we're getting right into it, and yeah, let's just begin with my little weekend. I hope you guys and gals had a great weekend. Hope you had a great start to your week. My week was, yeah, exciting. It's the most exciting part of my life. I look forward to it each and every time it happens. I hope it happens more and more. Growing, learning, trying to do, a little bit better each time, hopefully. Hopefully that's the dream, that's the goal. Get excited. You get excited, and the day of is just like, oh, I don't know, for everybody's, I guess it's different for everybody, but my bowel movement's it's been better. It's overall throughout the, again, my little mini tiny baby steps that we've taken thus far, it's gotten better. But the day of, it used to be diarrhea in the beginning. Now I'm past diarrhea. So it's leveling up one teeny tiny stool sample at a time. It's no longer diarrhea, but I took a shit 3 times yesterday. Prior to this, 3 shits. I don't even know where it was coming from. 3 shits. Who shits 3 times? Unless you're sick, which knock on wood, I'm not. Count your blessings. Jobless. Jobless. All of us together, man. What am I even talking about? Yeah, 3 shits. The bowels were emptied out. God, you could blow in my asshole and hear a whistle back. You could put your ear to my asshole last night, you could hear the sound of the waves. Very similar to seashells by the seashore, but that's just on my personal, if you know what I mean. What am I even talking about? I don't know. It's a lack of sleep. That's what I'm talking about. Lack of sleep, because adrenaline throughout the day, adrenaline throughout the show, adrenaline after the show. Get back. Try and fall asleep after. Good God, try and fall asleep. It was, just wanna get a toad to lick my eyeball and go for a run, but no toads, within the vicinity. And I'm not gonna go outside and run because it's chilly now. It's chilly. It's October. It is the end of October, beginning of November, almost. Thank you. It has gotten chillier in the city, so yeah, no evening jogs or walks, but I do get my steps in during the day. Thank you. But yeah, it's exhilarating. I love it. I love stand-up. It's, I hope to one day, it's a day at a time. Take it a day at a time. You only have to compare yourself to yourself and, go with the flow. Yeah. Overnight success? No. You know? But also maybe, because who knows, eventually it will be one night. It will be over a night. It won't be overnight, but you know, that's the thing. Yeah, some people want immediate gratification and fucking, like, you know, skyrocketing. Not this guy. You know, I'll leave my skyrocketing and missile launching to the professionals in terms of like NASA and orbital, you know, space exploration, and we'll get to that as well. But yeah, some people, because you fucking rocket hard, you rocket fast, you go big, and you know, it's good times. But like, you take your time, it's also fucking good times. It is good times all around. No, genuinely, I mean it. I do love it. It's what I live for. It's what I does. God, oh, it feels so good. Feels so good. 5 minutes. It is it's the most exhilarating thing. I don't know what I would be doing if it was another lifetime prior, you know, with less tech, less surveillance. Probably not gonna lie to you. Probably hopping trains, you know, robbing some trains, robbing some banks. If it was like, you know, if it was horseback times. If it was horseback times, because, you know, it is so exciting. It's like, yeah, get me a lizard and let me either lick it or have it lick my taint. Whatever. Let's just feel the good times together, and that's what it is. So yeah, thank you to Yuck Yucks. I did manage to record the audio. I'll post that on today's Wednesday. I'll post it on the weekend. Post it on the weekend. Little snacky poo for myself to have, and a little snacky poo for anybody out there who likes to, you know, listen. And if you like it, you like it. If you enjoy it. I hope it puts a smile on your face. If it doesn't, we can rearrange your face then, can't we? Get some of that plastic surgery for you, a perma smile. What else is going on, man? Yeah, so that was my weekend / beginning of the week. Well, let's get right into it. Lots of fun topics, events unfolding right before our eyes. Today's going to be, again, running on fumes. It's going to be a little bit of a looser, not that any day isn't loose. I mean, we are the loose goose of the internet, the loosest goose on the internet. Some might say that. Some might say, and thank you for saying that. Some might say the silliest, loosest goose out there, you know, queefing all over the place. Some might say that. What am I even talking about? Let's get right into it. That's right. Government shutdown. I keep hearing about this. Keep hearing about it. Doesn't really personally impact me. It sometimes it impacts other people. And some people have been hungry. Apparently, or we're about to go hungry. I don't know what I hear food stamp. I've been seeing a lot of videos about people not getting food stamps, which it's one of those that I've heard of. Like, I've heard of food stamps, and you know, never really had much, you know, didn't have a relationship to it personally, didn't know anybody, but I don't even know if like we got an equivalent to it in Canada. I'm assuming there's some sort of program out there for families, individuals who might be, you know, but yeah, food stamps, that's a thing. People are making videos, you know, that they're not going to be going hungry. A lot of people are paying 40 million. That's the number that I heard. 40 million with population of the US 350. What is 1 in 7? Is that 1 in 7 is not going to be getting? And I was like, you know, I'm Mr. You know, torn on subjects, Mr. You know, I can't, because, you know, there's a heart component of me. I'm like, you know, people shouldn't be going hungry, but at the same rate, do all y'all need these foods? 40 million people needing food? That's a lot of food stamps. Just, you know, I'm sure there's some people who really need it. You know, if you're like quadriplegic and like, you know, if you're rocking that non-able, you know what I mean? If you're rolling on that scooter, you know, just fucking elbow locked in, just wheeling through the city, knocking on people's shins and ankles and taking out little chihuahuas, and nobody says anything because apparently you're above the law. Quadriplegic. That's some quadriplegic privilege right there. Fucking take out as many ankles you want, you know? Able-bodied individual, you knocking somebody's ankle, shit might just pop off, son. You don't know what's around the corner, but that's quadriplegic privilege right there. What am I even talking about? Yeah, food stamps. People going online making videos. Apparently they want to go out on November 3rd and just get into Walmart, making videos, encouraging one another to get on the streets, go to Walmart, get food, don't pay for it. Cause mama's gotta save, or mama's gotta feed her babies. Mama's, and a lot of the individuals I saw, these are chunky motherfuckers, dude. Not a lot of, I saw a few skinny ones out there, which I'm like, okay, I don't know your BMI, but not tracking your PSI, or what are some other acronyms? I don't know your AGI. I don't even know if that's a thing, but fucking acronyms and letters, I don't know it. But yeah, chunky monkeys out there, a few chunky monkeys out there just worrying about food. And again, it brings everyone should do your, get your own food. That's my take on it. Personally speaking, from parentals, it gets, from parental, my granddad was a hard worker, my dad was a hard worker, independent individuals. It's, sense of pride in that shit, but there's, many sides to things. But yeah, 40 million, that's a lot of people. Some of y'all should be fucking getting after it. Some of you probably fucking need it. I don't know. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. And again, off the old adrenaline, lack of sleep, making sense of it all. One tiny step at a time. Yeah, make, eat, if you're chunky, think of it as if you're really fat, if you're obese. Trying to think of the pros of this shit. If you're obese, think of this as like a time where you can lose a few pounds. Everybody, if you're chunky, you could afford to lose a couple of pounds. Doesn't hurt. If you are, it's complicated because again, it does concentrate around I guess it goes back to the concept of work, doesn't it? It goes back to the concept because some people shouldn't be on food stamps, but they are. But then there's should you work to have food, or should you just get free food? And that's working in independence far outweighs the non-working and getting the food stamps. And in my opinion, I'm just trying to but there's some people who say like, why should we work? There's some people might see it through that. Why should you but it's they say also nothing is free. They say lunch is not free. There's no free breakfast. I personally believe that as well. I personally believe that nothing in life is free. But some people say, or maybe it should cost less to feed you. Maybe it's a fine balance. I don't know what to tell you. It's a fine balance. Have things gotten, for a lot of people, have things gotten unaffordable? Yes, absolutely. Simultaneously, have a lot of people also gotten really rich during these? Yes, absolutely. That is also true. And two things can be true at the same time. But that's, if you can, go get a job, work, do the thing. But also there's people who say, we should get out of a rat race, which I partially agree with. We should all somehow get out of a rat race. Do your thing to get out of the rat race. It's a complicated issue is what it is. I just saw, if you're out there able, and there's a, you should probably, do something with your life. Shouldn't wait for handouts. Handouts don't feel good. That's, again, personal opinion. To some, it might be like, I'll take the handout. Some people might say that, but I don't know, to be honest with you. It's just 40 million was just a large number, and I saw a lot of videos, saw a lot of fatties out there just wanting to make plans, and you're still making plans. You're still doing something in your day. You're still making a plan to go out there. You could just do something else and earn a couple of bucks, but that's, again, personal outlooks, opinions, lifestyles, to each their own. It's fucking Wednesday, and I'm here with you guys. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you're fed. What else is going on? Technologically speaking, it is fine times. It is great times to be alive. Some of the tech is, obviously it's concerning. Some of it is from the advancement point of view. There's a concept. We should be working together, but there's also, when there's a little bit of competition, if it's not meant for harming anybody, like there's the missiles that have been getting created, missiles and jets that are getting created. Russia just created a new missile. It's called the Invincible missile. It's got a Russian name, which it's difficult for me to say because I'm not Russian. probably got, something in there. We are all one after all. I guess I'm a little bit Russian. What's the name of the Bernavitsk, something like the Bernavitsk missiles. Vodka. The missile is called Vodka. All right. It's a new missile, and they just launched it. It's capable of carrying, I believe, it's a nuclear capable missile. It's invincible because they say that no defense system can defend against it. This thing fucking apparently goes super fast and like changes directions and shit, which I don't know much about, but it does that apparently. So Russia did that. Bernavitsk. Much easier when you see it and read it at least. Bernavitsk. Medov. There you go. From the Dagestani region of Russia. You get it. What else is going on? But then counter to that, this is where either we should be working together or competing or healthy competition. In response, I'm not sure if it's a response to that, but nonetheless, we here in the West, from NASA's vagina, from NASA's we also launched a new jet. Oh, before I get to that, the Russian one did have NATO gave it a cool nickname, which, called Skyfall. The Skyfall, that's what they call it. I don't know if, gets me tingling, like, my asshole kind of fucking gets moist because I'm like, that's potential deadly shit, but Skyfall is a cool nickname, so it gets me excited. So again, torn on many subjects. Trying to see it from different angles is what we're trying to do or whatever. But simultaneously, nonetheless, to counter some cool shit from Russia, we countered that shit with the noiseless quiet missile, or jet rather. It's a jet. NASA released it. We've been working with Lockheed Martin. In this podcast, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If it wants to be, it could easily be brought to you by Lockheed Martin, Palantir, or anybody else. All right, we are making rockets right now, and we see your rockets, Russia. We see your invincible Skyfall. We raise you the quiet jet. I didn't find it. Again, past few days have been a little bit, let's take it a day at a time. It's a loose day, no nicknames. The fucking quiet jet. That's what it is, motherfucker. The silencer. That's what we should call the silencer. The ghost. Because that shit is spooky silent. There you go, use that. We call it the ghost, motherfucker, because you don't see that shit anywhere. Like you do, but still, it's quiet. It's quiet as a mouse jet. Beat that, Skyfall. The mouse doesn't sound fucking, if it was a, what's his snake, Slytherin. Also, what if it's a rattlesnake, also makes noise. What's a silent animal? An alligator, just fucking, just eyes out on the water, ready to go. Right there. All right, so with the Lockheed Martin's skunk work, created this jet. It's quiet. Breaks the sound barrier, moving, traveling 925 miles an hour or some shit like that. It's crazy speeds, either kilometers or miles. I think it's miles. Miles. That's right, miles. Good God, that's so fast. Super fast. And what's delicious and what's beautiful about this jet, if you like fucking jets and it's moving fast, if you're like moving on the highway and you're like, that's fast, this is like 20 times faster than the highway. So doesn't make a sonic boom. That's the fucking the keynote is this thing is silent again, because we break that sound barrier. Queefs, the jet queefs you hear, but this shit will creep up on you. You will blink and it'll be right there in your grill, right there, saying "Hola muchachos," coming from America. than us, because North America, NASA, motherfucker, get it straight. So we see again, we could obviously either be working to, what if we merge our rocket technology and went further into outer space, moving in unison as one species, or we keep it a little bit of a healthy competition here and just see who has the best phallic shaped missile / jet / rockets. We do. Not gonna lie, whatever you got, we got it better. But obviously I don't know much about what we've got in the arsenal. I'm pretty sure there's shit always being worked on in the background, some dark lab, some, dark side, some underground fucking scientific lab that is just buffing, shoe shining a little rocket that's just, you blink and it's just right there in your ovaries. What is that? It's a rocket. It's the ovaries rocket, brought to you by Skunk Works. This shit fucking reeks. Because it's from Skunk Works. Reeks of success and silence. Because it's from Skunk Works. That is a nice name. See, that's a nice name, Skunk Works. What is that? It's mysterious. It's, it'll fuck you up. It's tiny, but also mighty. Like a skunk. And it's defensive. That makes sense. Because skunks don't go out there. That makes sense. Is that why you guys gave it Skunk Works? Because it's like, works in terms of, it's defensive. It's not an animal that'll go on like, it's not an aggro animal. It is a defense. You've seen that shit with skunk. I get it now, I think. It's Wednesday. God. What else is going on? There's a teenager in New Zealand. I heard about this. He swallowed 200 magnets. This kid swallowed 200 magnets. And this little, I don't even think about this stuff, but I'm not a parent, but again, oh man, my heart goes out to all the parents. Maybe one day I'll become a parent, but it is nerve-wracking. Kid out there, you don't even, it's a teen, it must be at least 13, because that's when the teens start. It doesn't start at 12, it starts at 13. There you go. But it's in his teen, it could also be 19. I didn't read too much into it. I hope it's a young, because you'd hope that this sucks. This individual swallowed 200 magnets, had to get surgery, part of his bowels were removed. That part of it sucks. But again, I hope that he did it at least when he was like 30, because if you're 19 and doing that shit, like you're still technically a teen, and but yeah, he swallowed 200 magnets. It just made me think, God, parents must be, you gotta always keep an eye on them. Not just when they're rugrats and gnawing on your kneecaps and slapping your balls against your inner thigh, or accidentally fisting you, and now you're confused about to what do? Your kid accidentally fists you. It feels good. That's kind of fucked up, isn't it, lady? What have you been talking about? Babies fisting their mothers? Don't let your babies fist the mothers. Don't let your babies fist you. That's right, it's Wednesday. And mothers, PSA, be careful of babies fisting mothers. What have you been talking about? Right, just being worried about children. God, it just made me fucking get a phone call. Your son or daughter swallowed 200 magnets. Jesus Christ, that is... Got it off Temu, by the way. Got it off Temu. And, I'm not beginning to grow to like Temu, or Temu. I'm not gonna lie to you. Then, it's... Affordability is king. It's in these times specifically. I don't know in which time affordability wasn't king. And they say the dollar is king. Of course, yes, but also, you gotta be able to afford shit. So Temu, I'm not happy about the whole CCP, it's probably, but also it's fucking cheap and affordable. So Amazon, get your, get better labor, or other companies, pay your workers less somehow. But also I think about the people, pay them more. We should all be getting paid more. But also it's a complex situation for everybody. My heart does go out to the, people who don't make more money, but also daddy likes his cheap attire but this kid apparently got it off too. He got magnets, toy magnets or some shit, and he swallowed 200 of them. So, keep an eye on your kids if they're ordering shit online, if they're teenagers. Again, with this phones and the tech, again, it's got its pros, but also keep an eye on your kid, duct tape their mouth, make them keep an eye on them. Fucking keep them indoors. Keep them locked inside the house until they're, you know, ready to get married and have children on their own, and then fucking chuck them out into society. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, benefits of swallowing a magnet. It sucks that it was 200. Whatever, you know, how many should you swallow in terms of like 200? Clearly too much. That's too much. But like, what if like one should be all right, right? Should be, because it'd be pretty cool if you like swallow one magnet and just like show up to, you know, anywhere, a party or whatever, and just fucking have the cutlery just fucking smack to your belly and be like, oh, look at me, I'm magnetic. Also, that could be fucking dangerous, because what if a knife just comes right at you, and that's also pretty cool, but probably a little bit, you know, low key. It's gonna be a little bit of a bummer for a lot of people in the party, probably mostly you as well. That's not fun. What if you swallow a magnet, have it go down your rectum, close to your ass, get a magnetic dildo, and boom, you don't even need to, because a lot of times you see people having to use their hands to grab the dildo, and you just walk close to the dildo will go right in your ass. So there you go. That's one benefit of swallowing Again, don't swallow 200. They didn't say how many you should. Maybe they said don't swallow any, but these scientists like to play it safe. Swallow a lesser amount, whether you're a teenager or an adult. Okay, always remember that. Magnets and other stuff too. Mouth is not just for eating food, all right? Your stomach can take way more. We're partially electric and probably a little bit magnetic as well. So don't let these sciences fool you. And don't let somebody, you know, going out and swallowing 200 ruin your well-balanced diet of magnets. Get them inserted in your skin. If you really want, get them inserted in your skin. That's what people should do. That's better than swallowing it probably. I would say get surgery, get body modification surgery. Could that harm you physically? That shouldn't harm you. Should be all right. Test it out somewhere out there. I guess this kind of lines up with the whole chippy chip situation, you know, chipping your pets potentially if you're, again, quadriplegic and shit, getting a chip in you. Put a magnetic one in there. Put a magnetic one so you can like hang stuff on it too. Put, you know, on your body. Be nice to just hang stuff off your body. Your keys would never get lost. Just fucking have a little piece of magnet around you on your body and just attach your keys right there. Some people are like, you know, if you're, let's just go for the full, again, the chippy chip, scan it, do an invisible scan of your hand, or, you know, get a chip and scan your hand. Never mind, I scrapped that, that's way too, that's what they fucking want us to get. So never mind, scrap that, but for funsies, it would be nice to have magnetics on the palm of your hands, just fucking grabbing shit, just with the palm of your hands, or deterring stuff. Could it come in handy when you're fighting? If you're fighting, palm of your hands is just magnets, and you know, they gotta have magnets too, but then that'll attract, or it will repel depending on the energy. I don't know, but use it. You get into the key takeaway. The moral of the story is insert magnets into your skin. Do not swallow, okay? Put it near your heart. If you are working with a pacemaker, just open it up yourself, put it in there, it should be fine. You could use it as a, you know, put it on your clit, lady. Put it on your clit. There you go. Safest place. Moral of the story, fork magnets is the clitoris. Next one, tip of the cock. That way, even if you lose your boner will not fully retract into your body. So there you go. That's the takeaway. Magnets should not be swallowed. They should be inserted in the genitalia. There you have it. You're welcome. Solved it. You're welcome, New Zealand. Also the world, humanity, animals, aliens, starfish, fucking, you know, all of it. What are we even talking about? It's Wednesday. Let me just catch my breath. Just catch my breath for a second here. Been hearing about Neanderthals potentially coming back. Not right now, not right now, because there's companies. You probably heard of these companies like Colossal Biosciences, which is pretty cool. Bringing back the dire wolf. They already did that. And we might be moving forward to in the near future, the next 10, 20 years, we might be able to bring back the Neanderthals. And there again, debating it. We're debating it right now. Low-key, I hope we're already working on it in an underground lab somewhere, working with, all sorts of shit that we have done since probably the, 20s, 30s, maybe even prior, who really knows, attaching people to one another. Attaching midgets to people's backs, so to have eyes on your backs, because they've always said it's better to fucking have eyes on your backs. Get a midget surgically attached to your back, providing you with visuals in your rear. Doing other sorts of experiments, attaching two midgets together to have two midgets attached together. That's cool. It's like Siamese midgets, which you don't see too many of, but nonetheless. What are we even talking about? Neanderthals. That's right. Bringing back the Neanderthals. Should we do it? I hope we already are working on it. If we're not, we will be in the next 10, 20 years. I'm willing to, for the sake of the show, just ethically forget about it and say that it's cool. Because it is. They're stronger, if I'm not mistaken. But guess who's still standing? Us, which some of us have, again, apparently, a percentage of Neanderthal in us. Depends where you're from, apparently. It doesn't matter. The point is we were intermingling. We were boning at one point or another. That's the takeaway. And we should bring them back. They're stronger. There's none of them remaining right now, so we could use them as a slave population. Everybody loves slaves. We're going to get robot slaves. There should be Neanderthal slaves. Why not? Why not? Why not? If you had a monkey, a gorilla, if they could just pick it up with the sign language and the whole ability, use words, probably they're a little bit too aggro. They're a little bit too the silverback is crazy, but it'd be nice to have that as a fellow, you know what I mean? Doing fucking, want to move something heavy, if you want to build a pyramid, get a couple of, little bit, 50 to 100 words, 200 words, 500 word vocab for the silverback. Feed them well. Give them housing, let them fucking push. I don't know, attach the rocks to their cocks. They're huge. They'll be able to do it. I don't know. The point is, bring back the Neanderthals, put them into fighting matches. Put Neanderthals versus Neanderthals. And at one point, once we study them, we can actually put people versus Neanderthals. Again, it's going to get tricky. Are they people? Are they, not like us? They're not like us, dude. We're better. We're better than them. Let's bring them back, enslave them. Use them for cheap labor, use them for, if you want to, because hospital bills are crazy. If you want to do cheap labor, have Neanderthals fucking get in there and receive that baby. Just fucking receive that baby, and that's cheaper labor. You could also use them as soldiers, in case, we should probably work on, again, working together, bringing us to join as one, but also if need be, we send our Neanderthals and robots to verse each other instead of us, who are better than them. And it'd be nice to have a couple of goons, for security. If you were like, oh, I need security because I'm like, I need to get a couple of Neanderthals, Again, they don't know that we got to teach them a few things. They've lost their own language, apparently. I don't know too much about it, but it's exciting. Not sure how we're going to do it, splicing the genome or some shit like that. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be tight. We should probably not tell them why there are not many of them remaining, because that's probably not going to like that. Just give them a news story, okay? When the fucking Neanderthals in the room, just forget about the whole, just treat them with make a new concept for them in terms of how they came about. We'll figure it out. Once it's a bridge we will cross when we get there. We'll say they are, we could tell them they're better than us. We could tell them they came they've alien implants. We could say they're alien implants. Then they might get, down the line if they evolve and think that they're better than us. Never mind, it's scrapped again. Ethically, it's a can of worms, which I'm willing to open, to be honest with you. Because, again, moving things around will be far easier. Sports, if you want to have a league of sports, Neanderthal football, how exciting would that be? Just fucking giant men with fucking, hairy forearms running at 200 miles an hour, smashing each other's skulls, passing balls, catching, receiving, dunking, all of it. Tossing frisbees. tossing baby elephants, all of it. I want to see it playing shot put with your granddad. You know what I'm talking about. Neanderthal sports. Neanderthal bare knuckle boxing. That's what I want to see. What else is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is, again, it's Wednesday. We're here, baby. We're here doing it. Bypass surgeries, I keep hearing that term. Bypass surgeries. You know, it's 2025. I think we should be, you would have thought that society we're here, we should have gone past this, but apparently it needs me to get in here and step up once again and say what needs to be said and try to do my little part. But it's, yeah, if I need to remind you that it's 2025, then let it be a reminder. It is 2025. The fact that we've got bypass surgery, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that we don't have heterosexual surgeries, that we don't have gay surgeries, that we've only got bypass surgeries. It's a heinous crime against humanity. It is disgusting. It is 2025. Why should bisexuals be the only one who get a pass when it comes to surgery? That's what I'm saying. Is this some sort of secret, you know, bi cabal that's trying to take over surgery and just allocate it to themselves? That's the question on my mind and probably on your mind as well out there. So I just want to propose that it's, again, moving in. 2026 is around the corner. We nip it in the bud. We get together collectively and demand surgery for heterosexual straights and even the gays too. Let not surgery just have a pass for the bisexuals out there. Again, it's extremely odd. It's strange. But sometimes, you know, they like to keep you occupied with a lot of things that are on the periphery, that are not potentially of value to them, whoever they are. But it's up to us that we say, you know what, no, this shit stops right here. The buck stops with us. If we don't do it, then who will? What are we gonna just pass it along to the next generations out there? Maybe they'll come along and collectively say that surgery should be passed out to everyone. But here we are, 2025, still we are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is time that we made a stand. Let our voices be heard, that heterosexuals and even the gays too should get a pass when it comes to surgery. That let it not go down in history books that we laid on our back while they just gave the pass to the bis and whizzed on by, overlooking the heterosexuals and even the gays too. And I'm happy for the bisexual community out there to be getting all this bypass surgery, fast track, head of the line, cutting the corners, stepping on other people, young, old, the crippled, just because they're bisexual. It ends today. It ends with us. They might take our bypass, but they'll never have our tits. I need to work on a better slogan I need to be on horseback probably, and also I'll work on the slogan, let them not take our bypass. If they could take our bypass, they didn't. You know, we still got the stamps on our hands and we got into the carnival. Let them, it needs to, again, a horse in terms of visual, just, 200 men in kilts. Let them take away our bypass, but my God, they'll never take our lunch break. I'll think of something, it's let them take away deprive us of our just a regular, deprive us of our pass today, tomorrow. Well, come back and say, give us that pass. It's a work in progress, but I do believe it's a major issue. Major issue. Shout outs to individuals who are doing incredible things. This is sometimes a podcast that shouts out people who do incredible things. One of those incredible people doing incredible things is Jim Morrison, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Morrison is back. He didn't die. Apparently he didn't die. He's back. He looks different, but it's Jim Morrison. He is back. He is no longer in music, but he is back. They de-aged him using technology, probably from, I don't know, some sort of intelligence network, or maybe even parts of Hollywood are involved. I don't know how they brought him back, but he is back. Jim Morrison is back from the dead. And this time he put down the guitar and he is out there skiing. He just broke the record for skiing downhill, and not just down any motherfucking hill. Down the steepest of hills, down the longest of hills, which is actually a mountain, not a hill. Jim Morrison defies death. They should have led with that on the articles and the videos that I saw. Jim Morrison defies death. Jim Morrison taunts death. Jim Morrison is giving death blue balls because he's back from the dead. They should have led with that. Jim Morrison says suck it to the Grim Reaper. Jim Morrison is back. That's what they should have led with. Nonetheless, he is skied down Mount Everest. Nobody's apparently done this before. He went over with a crew over there on Mount Everest, with a slope of 50 to 55 degree slope or angle, 55 or 50 degree. It's crazy because 45 is basically, you know what a 45 is. I don't need to sit here and explain myself to you. You know what you the viewers and listeners, you know what a 45 is. If you get down, you get down. If you 45, you 45. If you're fucking straight, and then you touch yourself with another straight, like at a 45 degree, and then you get that tight corner. That's what corner, you like corners, don't you? You like 9-degree angles, right? You like 45 and 50, because 45 and 45, that's 90 degree. It's steep is what it is. You get like, perpendicularly speaking, it's 90 would be going up a wall. 45, it's great, and then 50 is like, it's steep. It is steep. 50. And again, it's Mount Everest. He skied down the slope all the way down, which is nice. And it's incredible. It's one of those things that I would, everybody does different things. It's inspiring is what it is. I want you to take note and you go skiing down something really steep. You see a fucking difficult angle to, you see a building, instead of taking the stairs like a pussy or an elevator, which is, you might as well get on transitioning and hormone blockers. Why don't you just do that right now? If you take the elevator, just transition already, okay? All right? Go ahead and do that. Or you could say, you know what, I'm gonna challenge and climb the building and then crawl down or slide down the building. Do that. It builds character. It builds resilience. I bet low-key it's the whole adrenaline thing, the other portion of it at least. I don't know. I'm not inside his head. I'm not inside Jim Morrison's head. Jim Morrison, who just came back from the dead. That I'm not inside that guy's head, okay? And that'd be fucking weird because, again, let's say I'm not gonna even make this whole thing about him beating death and coming back and reinventing himself, giving himself a new career. I'm not even gonna talk about it, but I'm not in his head. So I wouldn't know what he's thinking or feeling emotionally. I wouldn't be able, that's crazy. Nobody would be able to do that. But the point is that he did something incredible. And I want myself to be, I want to be inspired by, and I am. I'm not a skier, but next time when it snows, I'll look at it and be like, good God, there's some people out there on Everest just sliding down a whole mountain of this. Portion of the video that I saw it wasn't the full thing. It was just a few seconds or a minute. Gave me a little bit of diarrhea, but the good kind, the kind that says, go down there and slide down a hill, roll down a hill. You might not be able to. You're like, I can't ski. I can't either. Get on top of Mount Everest. Just roll down. Roll right on down. So you can look back with your grandchildren sitting on your crippled body at an old age. You can't move, but you'll have a few images and you'll show that to your grandkids. And then he or she will be like in their 30s and sitting on your lap, crushing you, dada, granddada. He'll still talk like that to you because he's mentally retarded, but that's fine. You love him anyway. You can tell him how they extracted the jizz out of your crippled body and put it into your wife, which is his grandmother, and, you know, inspire him to do something with his life. There you go. That's the moral of that story. Individuals inspiring one another. Shout out to Jim Morrison doing incredible things out there. And once again, defying death and succeeding in not just one field of work, but a whole, athletics this time. Pushing his body, his mind to the limit in a different way, through another door. And much like Jim Morrison, occupying himself with the colder temperatures, the cool climates, I like to just bring about another individual who's out in nature doing incredible things, and maybe another form of inspiration to all of us. I know it is for me. I'm talking about the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the wood frog. Thank you. The wood frog, incredible animal, native to North America, capable of freezing itself throughout the winter and going into hibernation, freezing itself from the inside out. Not entirely, not enough to kill itself, but freezes itself and says, sayonara, I'll see you bitches back here when it's springtime. That's loco. I want that toad in my life. Earlier we talked about toads and lizards licking us to give us that little metaphorical spank on the bottom and say, hey there, tiger, go get it out there. And I want that toad in my life. That fucking frog is incredible. How does it freeze it? Let's take that DNA. I'm talking to Colossal right now. I'm talking to anybody else who's doing, human genome therapy, I'm talking electronics and humans, evolving us to the next. Let us have the capability of freezing ourselves. Because if we could do that, if you could freeze your body, you know what I'm talking about? We no longer may actually need shelter. We could just technically cool ourselves and just be, okay, maybe have like minimal shelter. Maybe still have a little bit of shelter, but like let you be less reliant on shelter. That's what you'll be. You'll walk out into the Alaskas. You'll walk out into wherever they don't let you go into the North Pole, and you'll be there with your nips out, and all these polar bears will be like, oh, let's go get these humans. They're incapable of withstanding the cold, and you'll be there and be like, motherfucker, come get these hard nipples. We've been engineered right there, dude. Say it to his face and just roar at the polar bear and maybe steal its cub and see what it does. Get after the baby cubs. They can't do anything to you. You're a human capable of freezing yourself. Get that genome, sequence that genome, splice it into the next generation of humans. That way we could also help out the homeless. There you go. Fucking another thing we could add to the list. Help the homeless by freezing them in the wintertime. Because a lot of them die because of the cold right now. Problem, solution, right there. Freeze them. Not right now, because they'll die, but one day we will be able to freeze it. You know what I'm talking about. When it starts getting like minus 30, walk out there. You see a homeless, stab him in the neck with a needle. They'll freeze, thaw them out back in the spring, and let them just, until we figure a better way to, collectively. It's not easy. It's not an easy task to, undertake, and there's probably many different angles it needs to be tackled, but this is one way we could tackle it. Using science and technology, and even forget about the homeless. Forget about the homeless. What about just regular folk, good folk out there, good men and women, walking into freezers? I remember walking into a freezer or two back in the day when I was younger, working at grocery stores or McDonald's. You got to grab the fries or go to the freezer in the back to get a few items. It's cold, it's chilly. But what if you had the capability, young man, to go into that freezer and not freeze your ass off? There you go, because you're self-freezing. The men and women who go out there and do science again in the Arctic, Why wear all that fur? Why rob that Eskimo family from their, clothing and attire? And now they're shivering and naked outside, not able to survive. Of course, it's helped you with your scientific research, but they're dying out there. And it could all stop today with us if we were to just freeze each other one by one. It's a cool thing. I think it's cool. Because a lot of, animals are like, oh, look at this. Look at the talons on that falcon. Look at the bite on that snake. Look at the sting on that bee. Look at the, it's out there. But it's every animal's incredible. That fucking freezing, but you gotta be good at hiding and seeking. Because if you're not careful, you freeze in the wrong spot. You might, get stepped on. You might get eaten alive. How would they know their first time doing it? Do they talk to each other, wibbit, telling each other little secrets, where to hide, where to freeze? Or do they innately know? Because if you don't know, you're just like, I'm walking down the street. Oh, what time is it? It's fucking time to freeze yourself. Freeze yourself in the middle of the highway. Boom. Splash City. But then I guess that's a quick go. It's not too bad, actually, in terms of, less pain. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that they're incredible. And they're just like us. Completely different, but in some sense, they're out there doing their thing. Aren't we all, after all, just frogs? They're not really. It doesn't matter. The point is that we're here and it's Wednesday. They say that, again, this is thanks to the researchers and scientists. They said this, it's a little bit, okay, I don't know how to feel about it. They said men need to work out twice as much as women in order to avoid heart disease. They said this, men need to work out twice as much in order to avoid heart disease. And I'm like, I'm already working out, but I don't know how much the females are working out. I walk on a daily, I've got a few habits that aren't probably like the best, but whatever, your boy's trying out here to, do his thing and enjoy a few of these habits like we all do. But whatever, I do my best in terms of, enjoy as a balance for each and every one of us. I'm not telling anybody how to live your life or whatever. I go for my walks, I do my daily little exercises with my dumbbells and, body weight exercises and that shit to keep myself fucking tight. Tight. Right there, dude. What am I talking about? Right, men need to work out twice as much. Yeah, I don't know how much these bitches be exercising, but you need to, we're at risk. Men are at risk of heart disease twice as much. So I had to, because I'm all about, Mr. Equilibrium here, Mr. fucking keep things balanced, keep a steady pace, never too slow, never too fast. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking steady wins the, sash. That's right. Steady wins the sash. You don't need to work out twice as much. Men, we just got to get these bitches to work out twice as little or stress them out twice as much to even 3 times as much to even things out. Stress them out more in life so that we have, it's got to be equal opportunity for these bitches with who we love. Got to give them, because men are getting all the heart disease. Women should get some too. Stress them out. Make sure they're not working out. If you see them working out, be like, ugh, I hate that shit. Fucking, you gotta get that. You gotta get your psyop going. You gotta get that psyop going. X's, make a thing, make a new thing. You know how they say, because they'll come up with a thing. They'll say a thing and it'll become a thing. Sitting is the new smoking. I'm pretty sure smoking is still, it's smoking that's still smoking. Sitting is, but make it saying like that. Be like, exercising is the new anal. Or no, anal's too good to be equated with exercise. Never mind, scrap that one. Exercise is the new, exercise and become tranny. Oh my God, there you go. Put the fear of becoming an instant tranny without having the desire to become an instant tranny into the hearts of the majority of women out there. There you go. Exercise is the new AIDS. Exercise is the new AIDS. There it is. Exercise is the new super AIDS. Exercise is the Wuhan. Exercising for women is the equivalent to sucking a AIDS bat from Wuhan. That's been updated. There you go. Put that out there. Exercising is the new Wuhan. Say that shit. Make it, spin it out there. Sitting is the new smoking. Spin it. I need fucking talking heads getting out there and just saying exercising for women is the new Wuhan AIDS. You wanna exercise, you exercise, you become a Uyghur and you'll die of AIDS. There you go. That's what it is. Exercising is the gateway to a Sudanese militia. If you wanna, there you go. There you go. So you gotta stress them out, get them to exercise less, so to even things out for the men. How to stress them out, answer less of the phone calls. Ring, I ringed you. Where are you? Don't know. Sorry, couldn't get to you on time. My bad. Shit like they just add it up to just stress them out little by little to get that heart disease. Because you gotta even things out. When they ask you where are you going, don't know. Anywhere. You're still a good man deep down inside, of course, but a little bit ambiguity, a little bit of rising stress levels for the females, you gotta even out the playing field. You know what I'm talking about? Don't know where I'm going, don't know when I'm coming back. You know when you're coming back. She knows it too, but when she asks, you don't know. I'm not just going, I might end up anywhere. Who knows with this guy? Mr. Reliable, deep down inside, Mr. Reliable, but on the outside, just to stress him out a little bit. We're pregnant, we're having a baby. Straight face, no emotion. I don't know how I feel about this baby. Just keep silent. Don't say a word. Then she'll be thinking, is he gonna be a good father? Is he gonna be there or, skip out on me? Stress him out. You don't need to exercise twice as much. The onus shouldn't be solely on you. Stress the bitches out a little bit. It's okay. Going out with the boys, I don't know. We might get into all sorts of shenanigans. You won't. But again, deep down inside, good, solid, reliable man. Outside, you gotta stress them out a little bit. We can't have these bitches living up to 90, 100, us passing away at you know what I'm talking about. If we go down, we go down together. If we go down, we better do 69 and go down. The point is that it's something. There you go. That's the point. The point is to stress it. You don't need to work out as much because you're already working out. Some of you. If you aren't, then pick it up a little bit. I don't know what to tell you. Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, some early trick-or-treaters went out there and wanted to get, candies for the kids. Kids went out to get the candy, came back with cocaine instead of candy. Takeaway from that story is that some people are giving away cocaine in Pennsylvania. There you go. That's the takeaway. The takeaway is I saw the interviews from the local neighborhood. It was pretty nice, actually. Everybody's really cool. People, adults, parents, and even the police. It was really nice. It was just like a sense of, hey, I'm hoping that this was a mistake. And we've come along. That's, the little things don't get as much attention as they deserve. It's beautiful. Neighbors being understanding of one another. Families being understanding. It's nice. Even the cops went out there. Even the cops are like, you keep your illegals to yourself. We're hoping that this was an accident, that nobody's actually handing out COVID. That's such a nice, I love that. Again, not a huge, it didn't get enough attention, I think. I think it deserves more. We've come a long way in certain areas, and we're always doing it. It's the beauty of it. One teeny tiny step at a time. So don't give away cocaine, but also if you are giving away cocaine instead of candy, again, this is in Pennsylvania. In case in Toronto, anybody is giving cocaine away in the candy, not that your boy does cocaine, but I will take it and, put it to good use in terms of, I'm sure someone can use the money. We'll take a portion of the money. Let's say you drop a brick into my trick-or-treat bag, a brick. What's a brick between a couple of fellas? I'm talking a couple of bricks. Half of the bricks I will donate to a charity of my choosing. maybe I'll just, sell it and get the cash and make somebody, maybe before we don't have the tech to freeze the homeless, maybe I'll walk to a homeless and just, drop 10K on them. How about that? Doesn't always have to go through a big old charity. Maybe I'll just, bless somebody like that. Should you be handing out cocaine for Halloween? That's nice. That is nice. Also, yeah, probably not gonna want to go back and be like, oh, it's my cocaine actually. Unless you keep doing it, then it becomes obvious. But at the same time, if you don't do it, all the neighbors are now wondering whose house it came from. That's kind of fun. All the neighbors low-key eyeing each other. Are you the coke guy or gal? That'd be pretty cool to have that suspicion from now on. It'll go away in a few months, but it'd be a little bit of a, I wonder if Ned over there is the guy that's handing out cocaine to the kids. Or is it Sally? Who knows? It could be an innocent grandma who snorts coke. She's lived a good, healthy life. Let her have her fun. It helps with the period cramps, is what I've heard. I heard the Queen used to do that. I don't know if it's I don't know. I wasn't there in the Queen's life when she was alive. I heard somewhere she's used to do coke to alleviate the period cramps. Talking about Elizabeth, rest in peace. Lizzie. I don't know if she did or she didn't. Maybe she did. What else? What have we been talking about? Half of the indigenous tribes, men and women, the uncontacted tribe, half of them, they're going to be apparently, I think there's 200 of them in Amazon area, in Brazil, in Peru, in South America, essentially. In the Amazon, there's 200 of them, they say, give or take. I don't know the full deets. But apparently half of them are going to be going extinct, wiped out in the next 10 years, they say. Which is make up your mind. It's 200 of you, half of you want to go extinct or get wiped out. Figure it out. Do you want to go extinct? Do we need to help you to go extinct? And, do we rush it? Do we forgo the whole, let's not pussyfoot around this wiping out thing? Do you want to be part of regular society? All right, global mass surveillance, the goods, the bads, all of it. Do you want to be part of that, or do you want to be uncontacted but then go into villages and it's a whole thing. It's become a whole thing. Half of them are getting threatened to be wiped out because just forestry, mining. We need things. Get it together. There's 200 of you. It's long term from this. We're not going to have any indigenous tribes in terms of on contact. We're not going to. And I don't know how long, but it's not going to be. If there's only 200 is nothing. What are you going to do? Grow their population so there's less uncontacted tribes? There's going to be more of them. Then they're going to eventually make contact, which they already have. It's weird. I don't know what to think about it. I want to get one. Do they ship them? If you order one, can I get one? Because they wouldn't know anything else. If I just got one, I'd be think of it as an adoption. I'll adopt one. Not, he'll have to or she'll have to earn his keep, of course. They'll be just in the background, just spear in hand, a loincloth. Maybe we will at that point go on, I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll do a risque show somewhere where he's walking or she's walking around just fucking titties out, by a river. Maybe we'll have a little bit of land in the future. Who knows? Just I'll make it so that they're good. The viewership will go higher, of course. It'll help. It's a boost. I definitely see that as a boost. Unless he or she hunts me one day, then that'll be also good for the views, but terrible for me. I hope I don't get hurt seriously. A little spear to the rib. I recover. We have a chit chat. He doesn't know what I'm saying. I'm speaking English. This guy's all fucking, loincloth and half erect. Should have brought over a female. The point is, can't even return him. There is no return address. Where are you going to return him to? This force is gone. There's no legitimate home with an address. Doesn't speak a word. Aggro with the spear. What am I going to do? It's fucking God. Should have thought about this more, but we're already knee deep in this purchase. So that's what I want to do with them. That's what I want to do. I don't know what you want to do with them. They're getting wiped out. I don't know what you want to do with them, but I want to help this podcast and help the show and help somebody. I'm helping them until we get that freezing technology, until during winter time I can just put them out in the yard and say, I'll see you back in 6 months, because you do need your space. You do need your space. but that's the indigenous community of South America. It's a tricky, complex situation like many others. What one to me, Americans, man, everything Irie for the most part, except now, because of this Hurricane Melissa be coming down and not making things Irie as we like it to be. What is this Hurricane Melissa coming here with her 300 miles an hour winds? What are you doing there with it? That's so much. Hurricane Melissa, that sucks. Ugh. That sucks. Hurricane Melissa's just been apparently, I don't know too much about it. I don't know why we give hurricanes names, we do that. But there's 300 kilometers, or miles rather, 300 miles an hour winds. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy town. Category 5, they said. God, that shit. But it hasn't happened in a really long time. It's not as I believe like heard in the last 200 years, this is like the most severe one. So, take it into account before everybody jumps the gun with the fucking, temperature and the climates and all that jazz. But yeah, it's crazy town. That is, God, the 300, you gotta buckle down. That's Mother Nature just, that's what happens when Mother Nature doesn't queef. This is what happens when bitches don't fart. This is what happens. You gotta let it out. I walk and fart all the time. I am walking and farting. I walk and fart. Ladies, Mother Nature, everybody should be walking and farting. I'm not quite sure if y'all are doing that, but I will, unless I'm just outing myself and you're the only one who walks and farts. Fuck you. Yeah, if you're not walking and I don't even believe you if you say you're not walking and farting. I don't believe you. You probably do. We're all human. Not the only one. The point is, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. 300 miles. That's insane. So fast and wet. That's fast and wet, and we don't like things that are fast unless we low-key do, because that's not just Mother Nature. That's Mother Nature squirting. There it is. That's and sometimes Mother Nature's got to squirt. Sometimes that bitch has got to just flick that bean and just make it rain. It's mass bukkake for everyone. Apparently that sucks that there's the devastating aftermaths, but yeah, just the speed of the wind got my attention. That's I hope everybody's good in Jamaica. You walk one, you hold it down tight, man, until we figure it out. Good God, 300 miles an hour, so fast. More revelations from Virginia Goffrey. And I keep messing up her name every time I say. I keep calling her by mistake Victoria. The poor bitch that allegedly killed herself because of the Prince Andrew and Epstein connections, getting molested, all that stuff. Apparently, she's got a book. She released a book after death. The book came out. Apparently, some people may have gotten some head from Ghislaine Maxwell. It says in the book, apparently, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the movies. Apparently George Clooney got head from Ghislaine Maxwell. Allegedly, I don't know. The interminglings of people. That's fine. That's just two adults pleasuring one another. Placing cack in mouth. And everybody is again adults. But it's crazy town. That's just who would know? You'd never know until fucking people publish books, apparently. So there you have it. That's that. There you have it. I want to see more Ocean's 11's movies. That's what I want to see. And if you got any info on any, if anyone's got more info relating to this, because time is just moving along. A little bit more clarity would be nice on the whole. That's just two adults having fun, living that lifestyle. But what am I even talking about? I don't know. It's Wednesday, Gavin Newsom was just recently on a podcast somewhere being all hood and shit. Gavin Newsom's being all Gavin Newsom. This guy, he's out there telling stories. He is out there connecting with the females, with the males, with the populace, and he's getting in the podcast with the brothers out there trying to connect to the everyday man. Getting out there and apparently, yeah, Gavin Newsom's apparently, he's about it. He's hood. He's Wonder Bread. He's about it. He's about that single parent household, having a rough time, and then, just doing things, hustling. Every day he be hustling. Gavin Newsom's a hustler out there. Times are rough, just like everybody else. We bout it, doggy. Things were rough out there for Gavin Newsom. He be playing that hoop. He be buying that Wonder Bread. My mama had a rough time feeding her family, but we made it through, didn't we, out there? So everybody's just the same. Everybody's just the same. And it's just nice to see. Drop the N-word anytime. If you want to get elected, drop the N-word. All right? If you're going to sit down with the brothers out there next time. Say nigga and you get elected. There you go. Say nigga, say nigga one time and you get elected. I don't know. He's running apparently in the 2020. He wants to, at least. I don't know what's going on. It's all interesting stuff. That's neither here or there. None of it is. It's just fun. I gotta get more of his mannerisms down. If this is gonna be a thing in the future, we'll see. We will all see. And all of this comes from love. I just want you to know, anybody out there, this whole thing, this entire thing, from the bottom to the top, it's all sandwiched between love, and I wouldn't, this is all for fun, and everybody does their part. Everybody does their part. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here. Go home.